Alright you lot, welcome back to Gaming Hellwire, only gaming news show that smells like burnt silicon and sarcasm. Today we've got servers shitting themselves, Handhelds trying to be PCs, indies saving themselves from deportation, Marvel heroes eating brains, and Capcom digging up dead prequels like it's a bloody ritual. Strap in, cause only thing more unstable than modern gaming is cloud it runs on. And that's cause yesterday, cloud took a shit and half the planet found out they built their lives on a server farm run by Jeff Bezos in his underpants. Amazon Web Services went down, and we went your games, your apps, your shopping, your card payments, and your will to live. Half the internet was sat staring at loading circles, wondering if they'd died and gone to digital purgatory. Gamers were first to scream, obviously. "I can't play Warzone," they cried, while some poor sod at Tesco were trying to buy nappies with a card machine that thought it were a toaster. AWS isn't just some back-end nerd toy, it's digital backbone of everything. When it goes tits up, you don't just lose your match, you lose access to your bloody electricity bill, your email, your digital sex toys, and your smart fridge that's now threatening to join Skynet. Let's talk monopoly. AWS runs nearly a third of the entire cloud market. One company, one failure, global chaos. You think cloud? This is hostage situation in binary. You think you're free because you got 5 different apps? They're all squatting in the same server farm held together with open unpaid interns, and you didn't even realise until you couldn't load Netflix. Even I use AWS. My business runs off it. Yesterday I dodged bullet, but if I'd needed to do alt at all online, I'd have been about as useful as a Ubisoft roadmap. There, but not functional. This wasn't just equal, this were a full-blown dress rehearsal for digital Armageddon. One part from Bezos' empire, and suddenly we're all Amish again. Except Amish don't cry about Apex Legends crashing, they just went outside and did something useful. You still think digital only is future? Hope you got a bloody backup plan, sunshine. Cause when AWS goes dark again, and it will, only thing you'll be streaming is your tears into a keyboard. Next, 2 Ukrainian devs, a pixel art horror platformer, and kinda underdog tale that makes Rocky look like TikTok influencer apology video. INMOST just hit 1.2 million players, and that number's not just impressive, it's miraculous, considering it were nearly never met at all. Picture this, Andre and Alexei, game devs stuck on work visas, staring down homelessness, burnout, and a career built on match 3 shovelware. Depressed, broke, bags packed, ready to gear it up. Instead of vanishing into void, they went full note to lose mode and made INMOST, a game about pain, shadows, and kinda emotional trauma that a make a therapist weep into their own clipboard. They didn't just make a good game, they made a gut punch in pixel form, a haunted, tragic, slow burn platformer that tears you down one jump at a time. And it worked. They scraped together a playable demo, shoved it into DevGam Awards, and won 30 grand. That 30 grand saved them, kept them in country, kept business alive, literally bought them time and breathing space. Fast forward to now, 1.2 million players deep, emotional finales, critical praise, and a mobile version dropping just in time for Halloween train rides that will make you cry next to strangers. It's what raw, desperate, honest creativity looks like. No season pass, no NFT bollocks, just story, style, and sheer bloody passion. Meanwhile, AAA Industries lighting cigars with 50 quid bills to push out bug-ridden betas that run like a goat on ketamine. These lads meant something beautiful with naught but paint, pixels, and just enough prize money to not get deported. This isn't just a success story, it's a flaming middle finger to idea that indie games are second tier. INMOST didn't just break even, it broke through. So buy it, play it, and next time some corporate clown tries to sell your emotion via overpriced DLC, send them this game and a polite piss off. Now, Capcom's cracked open sarcophagus and pulled Resident Evil 0 out of crypt, giving it full remake treatment, cause clearly, when it comes to game ideas, past pays better than future. Now don't get me wrong, I love a good remake when it's done right. RE2, masterpiece. RE4, solid work. But 0? Resident Evil bloody 0? That's like polishing least loved entry at family reunion. It's one where you get stuck on a train with a bloke who looks like he got lost on way to a boy band audition and partner system clunkier than a Fallout 76 launch. You're telling me Code Veronica's still rotting in Capcom's drawer? And instead we're reviving one where you swap between Rebecca and Billy like you're juggling a rotten sausage and first aid spray. But it's kicker, they might actually pull it off. If the modernised combat make Billy lesser a walking tank top cliche and keep mood thick as tar, this could go from forgotten oddball to proper redemption arc. That train intro still slaps, and if they lean into horror instead of cheese, might just get some worth controller sweat. Still, let's not pretend this ain't driven by nostalgia. It's not a creative gamble, it's a market-tested manoeuvre. We're getting old, we remember shit, and Capcom knows exactly how to wave it under our noses like a scented candle of better times. So here we are, hoping for greatness, preparing for disappointment, and wondering how long until Resident Evil 5 gets remade with a DLC that explains why Chris punches boulders. Capcom nails it, fair play, but fumble this, and the one leech away from Tenant franchise into horror parody. So, Marvel Rivals has entered its zombie era. That's why hell not. It's 2025, originality's dead, and apparently only thing left to do is reanimate it with Thor's lightning and face full of undead Namor. So here's pitch. Limited time PvE zombie mode. You drop into Midtown, scrolling the infected, and you get to swing, slash, and electrocute your way through Order's Blade, Magic, Thor, Jeff Bloody Landshark, and Punisher. Yeah, that's a real sentence. Yeah, I kinda wanna play it. Under Khonshu's guidance, cause why not, you're on a mission to stop Queen at Dead, who I assume were hired after Sylvie refused to show up. And let's be honest, it actually looks pretty fun. You're chopping zombies to bits, Thor's in an awkward state of permanent rage, and Magic's gone full goth berserker. It's a Marvel Halloween buffet of chaos. Now I'll be real, I'm not even into Marvel Rivals. It's NetEase's suspiciously shiny Overwatch knockoff with Marvel paint job. Kind of thing you expect to crash midway through a loot box animation. But this zombie mode? It's tempting, cause deep down we're all suckers for a good horde slaughter and some cape-based carnage. But don't get too comfy. This ain't Marvel finally giving Marvel zombies love it deserves. This is a seasonal gimmick with a ticking clock. Fun? Maybe. Memorable? Probably not. And you know damn well if it works, they'll monetize it faster than Wolverine regenerates a papercut. Enjoy chaos while it lasts. Get in, get zombified, and get out of Fort Service turn into pumpkin soup. Cause in Marvel Universe, only thing scarier than undead is what they'll charge you for a revive. Finally, Xbox branded Asus ROG Ally is out. It costs more than your dignity during Steam sale season. And now Xbox President Sarah Bond's out here defending price like it's crown jewels or handhelds. She reckons premium is justified cause it specs, portability, integration. And fair enough, on paper it's a beast. But let's be honest, this ain't for little cousin trying to play Minecraft. This is aimed at I have 3 launchers and a spreadsheet to track them crowd. You're buying a Windows-powered rig that just happens to have Xbox buttons slapped on front. Ally ain't just handheld, it's a signal. Microsoft ain't just dabbling in hybrid gaming, they're halfway through bloody Shift already. Game Pass now shows you Steam and Epic games inside the app. Not linked, listed. They're not building a console anymore, they're building hub, storefront, digital command center. Next gen Xbox? It'll boot Windows and Game Pass like it's flipping between Netflix and porn. And for those panicking about physical games vanishing, yeah, it's happening. Not cause Xbox hates you, cause retail hates what don't sell. Game stores in UK are becoming hardware zoos with t-shirt walls. No more pre-owned, no shelves of discs. Why? Cause buying a physical Xbox game is now as rare as a Bethesda game that launches bug-free. But here's twist. Xbox fans screaming that platform's dying? You've missed bloody point. It's not dying, it's mutating into somewhat more flexible, more integrated, and yeah, more digital. You might not like it, you might not trust it, but it's not going away. They're not building future, they've already sold it. And if you've got cash to buy in, you'll be holding a device that plays everything from Starfield to your Steam backlog while you're taking a dump. That's dream, right? So yeah, it's expensive, so is progress. But if this is direction Xbox is steering, hybrid, handheld, Windows wraps, I'm cautiously optimistic, with one eye on download bar and other on my wallet. And that's your Gaming Hellwire. With servers collapse, handhelds cost a kidney, indies save their own bloody lives, zombies eat multiverse, and Capcom keeps playing Frankenstein with wrong corpse. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks? Drop your comments and questions below, especially if you think Xbox Ally should come with a loan officer. and I'll see you next time, you magnificent